Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Train Room. There comes a time in every collector's life where you've got the desire to open a sealed set. Well, this is a 1969 set 11740, and it is sealed. And guess what? We're opening it today on Brian's Train Room.
Remember, boy, you're the boss on land, sea, and in the air when you own Lionel Trains.
Okay guys, before we opened something sealed from the post-war era, a little bit of a disclaimer. There's plenty of reasons not to open something that's sealed. It's been sealed for 50, 60, 70 years or so, and I get that. But there are a few compelling reasons to actually open something that's sealed. The first would be, say, with this 352 station, okay? Is it really sealed? It's a good question to ask because it's kind of open, but still sort of sealed. I can't quite peek in enough. Is it actually sealed? Well, it makes sense to find out since, well, it's kind of already partially opened anyway. The other would be, well, it's not exactly a high dollar item. This 256 station's pretty cool, but doesn't do anything. And to be honest with you, I had it on a table and nobody wanted it for sale, and it was sealed. So I'm going to open it because I think it's going to be really interesting, and we're going to make sure that we show you how we do that. The other would be, like this 68 inspection car, okay? To be honest with you, the reason I'm going to unseal this and open this up is because I've always wanted to. It's a good reason, all right? And then last, and probably one of the most important, and which we'll still do with all of them, is like this set, okay? Kind of for research purposes, okay? All right, this is a fairly common set. The set box has seen its better days, but it's still complete. It is nicely sealed, and I've seen pictures of this set, and sometimes there's little variations in there. I'd love to know exactly what is in this set, and I plan on showing you. So, yeah, we're going to unseal something, but we're going to do it right. We're going to make sure we document it, and we're going to show you and hopefully have a little fun doing it. All right, enjoy the video. All right, so we are going to, in just a few minutes, open up a sealed set from 1969. It's set 11740, which is a Rock Island Alco set, okay? And that's what's in this box right here. So a couple things we want to talk about a little bit before we open this up, okay? So the first is this thing really sealed? Always a question you just ask across the board, no matter really where it's coming from. You really want to take a look at it. I really feel good about this piece for a couple reasons. One, it just kind of has a little bit of that look. It's got to have that, right? The other is when I take a look at a couple different things, it just doesn't look like it's been messed with. These are stapled in place. We'll talk about that in a second. The flaps are stapled down. Everything looks nice and tight. There's a little hint of some movement here and there, but I mean, overall, those staples are not, they haven't gone anywhere and they haven't been put back in. It's one of those things that you could tell, okay? All right. Overall, the box is in pretty good shape. It hadn't been totally beat up. It's got some shelf wear, and the overall color has a little bit of, I won't say washed out, but it's got a little bit of the tanning. It probably wasn't as white or as light a color as it would have been back in the day, okay? All right, but it doesn't look like there's really any water damage or anything unusual associated with this. The other thing, as mentioned, as you always look at is not only just the top of the box, but the bottom of the box too. So I'm going to sort of flip this thing over just a little bit nice and carefully, and we look at the bottom of the box. Everything's just nice and tight. Same thing, staples right here look great. No concerns there. So this is a great piece. Everything looks nice and tight. I feel very confident about this being a sealed set, which of course we're going to find out the real truth very soon. A couple of things we're going to do, all right? The other is I've got some tools to be able to open this up. Kind of figured out a little bit of what's our plan here, okay? So I have a couple tools. The first is these right here are staples, okay? And the staples are basically a copper plated, almost like steel pin, and they're pretty strong, okay? So to open this up, I'm going to use wire cutters. I know. Tell me about it, huh? So I've got some wire cutters, and basically what I'm going to do, we'll find a nice little point, and boom, I'm going to cut these little guys. Shouldn't be too bad. once we do, because I don't want to just necessarily try and pull the staples out, because I'm going to rip the box up, which is most likely why you see a number of these boxes that were stapled that are beat up, because the only way to really get in these is to kind of open them up, which will tear these areas where the staples were. So plan for me for the first one is I'm going to cut it here and see if both pieces will slide out. If it doesn't or gives me a lot of trouble, I may cut at one of the edges and see if it comes out that way. So let's see kind of what that does in just a few moments. I also have a couple needle nose pliers to help me with the process as that gets a little closer. The other thing too is once the flaps are open, I'm going to show you what we're looking at. And I've got some of this sort of elastic material. The reason for that is once I put the flaps down, I'm going to use this material to sort of hold the flaps down so we can really look into the box without the flaps coming back at us. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt. And look, I'm trying to learn from the times I've done this before. Okay? All right. Last is when I show you anything in the box, we're going to orient it with the label sort of to the front. So when you see something, it's as if you're looking at it from your direction with the label always facing you to help orient how everything's there. Also, at the end of the video, once I've laid everything out, once I've taken everything out too, I'll talk a little bit about the set from 1969 and show the set again with some close-ups. So looking forward to this too. Let's open this puppy up. Okay, a little nervous, but moment of truth, here we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up this little guy here from the top by clipping the two staples and opening everything up. Got a little slice cam coming over your way, and we're going to see how we do this. So what I'm going to do is got my handy dandy wire cutters, and we're going to start back here. I'm going to try this one first, make sure it comes out nice and smooth. If so, I would expect this one's going to be a little bit tighter of a nip, but it's still going to work out the same. All right, so here we go. All right, so we've got our handy dandy wire cutters. I'm going to go left-handed because I'm coming from this side for the snip cam, I guess, if you were to call it that. And here we go. All right, we've cut number one. Okay, so now that we've cut this, I'm going to see if I can get with the wire cutters right at the corner and see if this little guy will tease itself out. And kind of like pulling teeth here in a way. Ta-da! We got number one, okay? And then I'm going to take this other one and see if I can just grab this. And then, come on. And then it sort of slides back out, but barely, okay? So I am just ever so slightly tearing this a little more than I would like to do, okay? So that's step number one by cutting it in half. I'm actually going to try a little different for this side here. I've got a little access to this one here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to nip it at the corners on this front one and see whether or not we get a nice release from that, okay? All right, so I'm going to nip it over here. All right, here's our little nippers. And I'm going to nip it right on the corner. All right, and then I'm going to nip this one on this corner here. Let's see. But we're released. Here we go. Let's see, I'm going to lift it up. I don't want to really dig into my set box top. Boing! All right. Well, she's out. And now... All right, now she releases. Okay, look at that. Woo, look at that. Awesome. Okay, and then I'm going to now just be able to just ever so slightly pull because she's still stuck. So it still looks like my best bet would have been to... I'm literally having to dig these out of here. So there was a little bit of tearing, but not bad, okay? It's still in pretty good shape. I've got the rest of the staple in there. So here we go. So we're going to open this bad boy up. There we go. Look at that. This kind of feels like, yeah, definitely one of the first times this thing had been opened like this at all. You can kind of see that. I'm going to turn this just a little bit. There you go. All right. You've got the top that goes here and here, and there's a liner on the top, okay, of this too. So I'm going to fold this way. I'm going to fold this way and fold this way. Here you go. All right, now here comes, let's see if this works right. We'll find out here in just a second. We've got our handy dandy elastic. Really? It is what it is. And that just might do it to hold where we are. Okay, so again, front of the box is right here, and on the top is a liner. Okay, all right, so here's a liner. It's not numbered in any way, fits right on in. I'm gonna put this off to the side, and on the top looks like some instruction sheets and a few other things. We're gonna show this to you in detail as we open it up. Brand new, it looks great. I really like what I'm seeing so far. More's coming your way. All right, we've got our set open. I haven't messed with anything. You and I are exploring this for the very first time together. Again, here's our liner that was sitting on top, just like this when we opened up the box, which is really nice because it protected that from anything that would have happened on the top. For the most part, it gives a little bit of pressure control, as well as when the staples went in, you didn't do anything that would damage any interior components of the unit, okay, or of the set. So we'll take this, and again, we'll put this off the side. Again, this is just corrugated cardboard. I'll show you some details of all the pieces at a little bit later time, okay? So we're gonna clean ourselves up. We've got our pieces over here. We've got our tools, which we no longer need, so I'm gonna push those over there. And let's take a little peek and see what's inside. So right off the bat, we've got a couple different things, okay? The first is we have a, it says an instruction sheet, okay? And this right here, and this is how it was oriented, this facing that way, although I don't believe that matters, okay? And it says how to assemble and operate your Lionel outfit, okay? We're gonna take a close look at this certainly. We'll flip it over. It does have a little bit of sort of aging. This is a lot lighter, as you can see, compared to this. And it shows how to do your set. We'll open it up. It is an instruction sheet, so which means it hopefully is dated, and it is. We'll take a look at it. This thing is dated, printed in USA, 1969. Okay, well that would make sense because this is a 1969 set. Okay, again, we'll go through this instruction sheet in a little more detail very shortly, okay, but it was oriented like this. The next thing that was here is this Lionel Train approved stations form right here, which is basically showing, hey, these are all the places that you can bring it if you need service or sales of new products. What's very interesting too is it's dated Lionel approved service stations 1969 1970, okay? So they were selling these in 1969, but preparing for what was, in case this was still available in 1970, obviously. All right, pretty cool, and we'll explore that very shortly as well, okay? Now, this is a set ready to run, has everything in, including the track. So what came with it? Curved sections are here, straight sections here. Remember, front of the box is over here, okay? All right, they're all facing, not all of them are facing straight up. These two are, but a couple of the sets of the straights are kind of in that, where they're combined like this to make them all fit. The top of the box around the edges does have some wear where the track is sort of dug into the side of the box, but overall it's still in good shape. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 straight pieces, and this is 027. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, and all 4 of them are on this side for some reason. Curved sections, okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 curves, and this is what is on the top of the box. Okay, now the next step is we're going to take these out, and there's a liner underneath here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift it from the liner. I feel like that will work because it just feels like it's just a flat piece of cardboard. So I'm going to lift it up just like this. And that is what's underneath. We are going to explore that next. Okay, so we're going to explore a little bit of this sort of second level. We've taken the track section off here a little bit too, and so what we have here is our second level. And again, according to the catalog, okay, which is right here, okay, all right, this set was to include a 6315 tank car, which will be this guy right here. It includes a 6142 gondola with canisters, which is right here. It's to include a 6014 Frisco boxcar, which is here, and a 6476 hopper, which is here. Okay, all right, so, and these are showing the pieces on the top. We basically have what looks to be a couple little liners or so in here, all right? This piece and this piece, there's like a triangle-shaped liner here. There's a triangle-shaped liner here, sort of separating the cars this way. And there's one more liner, which is just another triangle-shaped liner that sort of puts the gondola off the side with the wheels up against here. And we have two red canisters, okay? And these are just the plain canisters. So the first thing we'll do is we'll take out is the, will be the tank car, okay? All right, this is absolutely beautiful. All right, it has the couplers, everything's turned in, and those wheels are unrun. This thing's absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna put this right here. Carefully, I'm trying not to mess with that. The next piece we'll take out is a 6014, okay? All right, the 6014 Frisco, we'll flip it over, is nice. This piece actually not as perfect as I would love to see it. This is a 6014, it's a white Frisco. Again, we're gonna flip it over here. Couplers turned in, and they're open, which is nice, and wheels unrun. The one issue with this car is, and again, just haven't even messed with it and touched it, but it's very smudged, okay? Which is just probably more the way from the factory. It must have gotten handled. Maybe the heat stamping, something was on the finger, so there was some smudging that happened right here. Not a huge issue. This is how the set came, brand new, but that's how it came, okay? All right, I'm gonna put that over here. The next piece we're going to look at too is going to be the hopper. All right, again, we take the hopper and turn it over. Looks like everything's in good shape. Same thing. All the couplers are turned in. Wheels unrun. Absolutely brand new. That's pretty. And then we have our liners. Okay, so we have a liner here, and the thinner liner here. Okay, so we have all three of our liners. I'm going to put that right there. And then we have our 6142. And this is, again, absolutely brand new. It's got a beautiful little shine to it. For as crazy common as this little gondola is, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at that. That is just gorgeous. And it's a gondola. Anyway, so we're going to put this back here. And then we have our two canisters. Canisters are a little scratchy here or there, but they're the canisters, and they look nice. We'll put those right in there. Aha, look at that. I have two pieces of track. Now, most likely they may have fallen down, because remember, the top liner with the track had a little bit of gapping. So I've got 1 and 2. Oh, look at that. Okay, all right, maybe not. So I've got one straight track section here, and then this at the very bottom is the operating track. Okay, all right, and that was sitting down here. So I'm going to tuck that back in here, but I'm going to take one of these sections and I'm going to put this off to the side. I'm going to tuck it back in the way it came. That might have been the way they packed it. It's hard to say, but I have a feeling it still feels like it may have fallen down, but maybe not. Okay, there was definitely a space for it, and it had the rough side of the track up against the side part of the box. So at the moment, I'm going to say that that's in there, and that kind of is that transition between the levels. Okay, next step here is I'm going to take the next liner off here. Okay, so here's our liners. I'm going to take this, I'm going to stack it here. We're going to keep these in order, and look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. We've got, look at where the engines are, okay? That is really nice. Remember, the front of the box is here, the label, and here's the engines. We got another liner in there. We're going to explore this in just a second after I take pictures. Absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at this in just a sec. So as mentioned, this set is a 2041 Rock Island AA set, okay? All right, so again, what we should see on this bottom layer is the remaining pieces that should have been found. So in this section, there is the 2041 Rock Island AA diesels. Okay, that's these right here too. It'll also come with a 1025 45 watt transformer with circuit breakers, okay, which will be right here. It does say it should come with, let's see, 8 sections of curved track and 7 sections of straight track. We'll count all that up when it's all said and done. And then it comes with one number 6149 remote control uncoupling track, a CTC lock-on, and then it says wires and instruction sheet will also be included. And we haven't seen it yet, a 6057 Caboose, which I have a feeling is right in here. Okay, let's take a little peek and find out. So again, as mentioned, there's a couple different liners in here, okay? All right, and again, orienting ourselves, the front of the box is here, okay? This is the label here, okay? So the engine noses are facing this way. There is a liner to help to sort of protect this piece. Again, there's not a whole lot keeping all this stuff from shifting around. Interesting to note too is the wheels to both of the power units are facing against the cardboard here to keep anything from getting damaged. And there is a liner that separates between the two. Okay, the power unit is here. Okay, so if you're looking at the set, it's on the right. The dummy unit is here. So if you're looking at the set, it's on the left. That's how these were packaged. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we've got a little power cord that runs here. We were exploring this right here. Remember, this is a straight piece here, and then we've got the operating track here. So I'm going to take these two pieces, and they were stacked like this, and put these off to the side. Okay, there was a liner. Okay, so it's another one of these triangular shaped liners or tent liners. I'll put that here. Okay, all right, and they all kind of look the same. We're going to see if they all match up. We've got another liner, which is a tent-shaped liner here, and it's hard to show it from this angle on the camera, but you got a liner here, and then behind here is the power cord all wrapped up, and then of course the cord comes around here to the transformer. So transformer fits here, cord actually goes and sort of drapes a little bit over the dummy unit, and then comes right through here and is all coiled up. Okay, all right, so I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to do this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the transformer. I'm not sure how they loaded this thing, so it looks like I'm going to take the power unit out first. That's probably our best bet. We'll very carefully just sort of pull the power unit out. Okay, try not to mess with this thing too much. Okay, so here is our Rock Island Alcos. These are 2041s. Okay, this is the top of it here, and I'm going to flip it over just to see whether or not, from a condition standpoint, a little bit of dust, but these are really, really nice. They survived very well. We'll try and very carefully not mess with the shells too much here, but these are unrun. Okay, but they didn't totally not sustain any damage. Okay, if you kind of notice, and I'll show you a little bit, that the wheel got kind of pushed in a little bit too. Maybe the side of the box might have gotten just a little pushed in. This is very repairable. Just the wheel just sort of pulled out of there. Nothing's broken. This will be a super easy fix, and I'll certainly do that before I put this piece back in. But these are absolutely brand new, and the stripes look great. Okay, so I'm going to put that here. All right, and the unit's in really, really nice shape. All right, let's see here. And then the next piece that I'm going to take out will be these two liners here. Okay, all right, so I'm going to take these two liners, okay, and they're sort of L-shaped, and they cover over the caboose just like this. Okay, all right, I'm going to put these here. And then you have the caboose, okay, which is a 6059 M&SL brown caboose. Again, truck's tucked in. All that looks great. Wheels absolutely frosty, brand new. This is a gorgeous piece. Printing's nice and tight. This is still a very quality piece, even for 1969. Nice piece. I'm going to put this over here with the other cars. All right, and then we have a operating packet. Okay, all right. This is for assembly 1103-40, which has some connecting wires, controller, one CTC lock-on. Very nice. I'll show you that in detail in just a little bit. I'll put that right there. And then let's get the dummy unit out of here. Okay, I'm going to somehow carefully grab this little guy. Remember, the wires kind of drape over the top of it for the transformer. All right, but here's our engine. This is really, really nice. They're just well done and in pretty decent shape. It did sustain a little hint of some damage. You can see the white line has a little hint of some rubbing, and even the red has a little bit of a rub mark. Over time, remember this thing's 50 plus years old, and it's going to have a little bit of wear from being jostled around for that long, okay? But really kind of a neat piece, and again, brand new. So I'm going to push this off to the side too. And we're going to put that right there so it's in good shape there. And all that's left in here is the transformer, which sits right here. This is a liner that, again, this is the power cord. Again, you can kind of see how this is set up. It's literally in the box in this orientation, which I'm actually going to put back in there in just a second. And then at the bottom is not one, okay, but two liners. Okay, so at the very bottom we have one liner because I can see the bottom of the box there. Okay, and then you had another liner here. Okay, and then this was in here with liner off to the side. That is what was in the box and how it was in the box. Absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys enjoy that. I'm going to go show all the pieces in detail very shortly. But that was fun, opening up a brand new sealed set. And I have no doubt that's exactly what we just did. This is set number 11740 from 1969. This set, which sold for $25.99 back in the day, was unopened until today. This set consists of a black and red 2041 Rock Island AA Alco unit set, a 6315 orange Gulf oil tank car with copper tinted ladders and subframe typical of 1969 production, a green 6142 gondola with two red unmarked canisters instead of the white canisters shown in the catalog and on some past auction results searches, a white 6014 Frisco plug door boxcar, although some past auction results search have shown an orange 6014 boxcar, a yellow 6476 hopper, and a 6059 M&SL Caboose, which is most likely a substitution for the intended 6057 shown in the catalog. Of note, all past auction results show a 6059 M&SL Caboose. When ordered by dealers, they would come 4 sets to a master carton with a 37-pound shipping weight and a net cost of $23.40 each. A great, high play value set at the end of the line for post-war Lionel trains. So, I really hope I can put this thing back the way it came in the box. Let's see. Okay, so it was a whole lot of fun taking it apart, opening it up, taking everything out. The big question is, can I put it all back the way it came, okay? All right, so let's figure out, see if I can do that. So the first step here is I'm gonna kind of get those flaps back down using my little handy dandy elastic, give or take. Come on. All right, let's see here. Okay, all right, so we're good. Remember, this is the front of the box. The label is here on this side, just as we opened it, okay? All right, so step one, and it's already in there, is the transformer, which I never really took out. It's sitting right there too. The coiled plug is there, and there's a liner with sort of up against just to protect the engines or so from that side, okay? The first thing I'm going to put in there is going to be the dummy unit, which is up against, I believe, this side here. So I'm going to take this dummy unit, all right, and the dummy unit was right over here. I'm going to put it right there. The wheels were up against the walls, and for whatever reason, this laid over the top. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to take the power unit, which was in the opposite direction, both of the noses facing this way, and then push it up against there. Okay, so far so good. The next that was in there was the packet. All right, and the packet sat right here. Okay, and then you had the caboose. All right, and then the caboose was sitting, I believe, just like this, okay? All right, now we've got to keep something from tearing the caboose up and the engine, so that's these two pieces here, which I think just simply went here. Here on both sides of the packet. So the packet was in there. All right, so boom and boom. All right, and this is almost our layer because we also had, I think, another one of these guys here. Okay, protecting, keeping it from shifting this way. And remember, we got one of our operating tracks, and that fit down there. And to be honest with you, one of the other straight pieces also fit there, facing this way in that position. Okay? All right, and that is the bottom layer. Okay? All right, so now the next is we need a liner. So we're going to take this liner and we're going to put that here. All right? And now that we have that liner there, the next is, let's see, we had the orange tank car sat here. Remember, wheels up against the boxes, okay? And then we had one of these triangular pieces, all right? And then we had the white boxcar, all right, and that was facing this way. Okay, like that. And then we had another one of these little triangular pieces, and then we had the yellow hopper, again, wheels facing towards this little guy here. Okay. All right, now, on this side here was the green gondola and our two red things, but there was another liner that fit right here, and I guess that was just keep everything else from shifting or moving around. Like yay. And here's our middle section, good to go. Okay, I like that. I think that looks really, really good. Okay, all right, now the next is we had another liner. Okay. No, it wasn't this one. All right, I think what came next was all of our track, because I kind of kept all this stuff together. All right, so we've got our track sections here that lay on top, just like that. Here's all our track sections. Okay, all right, and then we have our instruction sheets, and then we had the main liner right there, all set, and then you take all this off, box, box, Box and box. Thank you very much. And here is our brand new 11740, which was recently sealed, but was now open just for you guys. That was fun. Thank you very much. All right, that was fun. Appreciate you watching my video. If you like what you see, hey, give me a big thumbs up. If you want to see more, hey, please subscribe. We also have a comment section down below. I want to hear from you. Let me know how I'm doing and how I can make these better. You know, I don't do this alone. I do have a number of friends and fellow collectors who have shared their collections with me to make these fun videos for you guys too. At the end, I've got a nice list of those individuals who've helped me out. I cannot thank them enough. Well, that was it for today. Hey, thanks for joining me on Brian's Train Room.
Lionel Express, all aboard. Look at her streak along the rails. It's a Lionel.